Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! In an unexpected but seismic development that has sent shockwaves across the footballing world, Amazon has reportedly made a formal offer to acquire Celtic Football Club, one of the most storied and successful institutions in Scottish and European football. The American tech giant, already a major player in global entertainment, cloud computing, and logistics, now looks set to extend its influence into the realm of elite football with this audacious move. While the finer details of the offer remain closely guarded, sources close to the negotiations suggest it could be one of the most lucrative takeovers in British football history, potentially exceeding the £1 billion mark. For a club steeped in tradition and community identity like Celtic, the prospect of such a radical change in ownership has sparked both excitement and anxiety among supporters. It's a story that could redefine not only the trajectory of Celtic, but the entire landscape of Scottish football for generations. To understand the magnitude of this potential acquisition, we need to appreciate Celtic's historical and cultural significance. Founded in 1887, the club has long represented far more than just sport to its fiercely loyal fan base. Celtic is a symbol of Irish-Scottish identity, working-class resilience, and a unique brand of footballing pride. Its legendary stadium, Parkhead, affectionately known as Paradise, has been the fortress of countless iconic nights under the lights. Any new owner, let alone a global behemoth like Amazon, would be stepping into hallowed ground. The question on every fan's mind is not just how much money is involved, but how such an ownership shift could impact the values, traditions, and very soul of the club. The tension between modernization and tradition has never been more palpable. And this potential Amazon takeover sits right at the heart of that debate. But why Celtic? Why now? Sources familiar with the deal suggest Amazon's interest isn't purely emotional or arbitrary. It's strategic. With the explosion of streaming, rights, sports documentaries, and global fan engagement, football is increasingly being viewed through the lens of content. Celtic, with its global following, intense rivalries, particularly the world-famous Old Firm derby against Rangers, and history of success, represents a content goldmine. Jeff Bezos' empire has already dipped its toes into football via broadcasting. Rights for the Premier League and producing series like All or Nothing. Acquiring a football club allows Amazon to own not just the broadcasting rights, but the narrative itself. Think exclusive documentaries, immersive behind-the-scenes access, virtual experiences powered by Amazon Web Services. This isn't just about football, it's about storytelling, branding, and digital dominance. For Amazon, Celtic could become the centerpiece of a new era in how we consume sport. Yet as the ink on the offer reportedly dries, questions abound about how this move would sit with Celtic's deeply rooted fan base. The Green Brigade, known for their vocal and often political stances, have already begun mobilizing in anticipation of the club being turned into a corporate project. Concerns range from the dilution of the club's local identity to fears over ticket pricing, stadium naming rights, and changes in governance structures. We're not a product. We're not content. We're Celtic, read one early protest banner hung outside Celtic Park. This emotional pushback highlights the friction that can arise when global capitalism collides with community-rooted football traditions. Amazon will have to tread very carefully if the acquisition proceeds, as any misstep could ignite a fan revolt unlike any seen in modern football. Ownership isn't just financial, it's spiritual, and winning over Celtic supporters might prove far harder than sealing the sheesh deal. At the boardroom level, reactions have been mixed but largely guarded. Peter Lowell, the current chairman, has reportedly been in direct discussions with Amazon executives for weeks, although no official statement has been made. Insiders suggest that while there is internal interest in exploring the partnership, there is also hesitation about surrendering control to an entity that operates in such a vastly different world. Unlike other clubs with foreign ownership, Celtic's leadership has always maintained a strong link to the club's original mission as a charitable, community-driven organization. Aligning that ethos with Amazon's corporate priorities could be a monumental challenge. However, with increasing financial pressure to compete in Europe and modernize infrastructure, the financial injection could also be seen as an opportunity too big to ignore. It's a balancing act of legacy and ambition, one that could set the tone for Celtic's next century. Rival fans, of course, have not held back in their reactions. Supporters of Rangers and other SPFL clubs have taken to social media with a mix of ridicule, skepticism, and envy. Some call it a sellout, others see it as a warning sign that Scottish football could be on the brink of becoming another battleground for tech billionaires. There's even speculation that if Amazon completes the acquisition, it could spark a domino effect, with other tech or media conglomerates eyeing clubs across Europe's smaller leagues. The implications go beyond Scotland. This could change how clubs are valued, how broadcast rights are negotiated, and how fans experience the sport. If successful, Amazon's takeover of Celtic might not just be a headline, it might be a new chapter in football's global evolution. It's a move that has the potential to redraw the power map of the sport as we know it. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. For players and staff within Celtic, the mood remains cautious but curious. A few unnamed sources inside the dressing room have expressed a blend of nervousness and intrigue. On one hand, the prospect of increased investment, better facilities, and global exposure is undeniably appealing. On the other, there's uncertainty about what it might mean for team culture, expectations, and decision-making processes. Would a new Amazon-led regime push for glamour signings and disrupt the club's emphasis on nurturing homegrown talent? Would the manager retain autonomy, or would analytics and brand value dictate lineups? These are not minor concerns. When a club becomes part of a corporate empire, the game behind the scenes can change dramatically. For a squad that has worked hard to rebuild post-Rodgers and Lennon, the timing of such a dramatic shift could be either perfectly catalytic or deeply destabilizing. From a financial standpoint, analysts are already crunching the numbers. Celtic is a profitable club by Scottish standards, with strong merchandise sales, recurring Champions League appearances, and a vast international fan base. Amazon, on the other hand, has virtually limitless resources. This deal, should it go through, could make Celtic the richest club in Scotland by a wide margin, and possibly position them to make a serious splash in European competitions again. Think state-of-the-art training centers, world-class youth academies, and marquee signings to rival even Premier League sides. But money isn't always the answer in football. Culture, stability, and vision matter just as much, if not more. The fear is that with so much power and money entering the picture, Celtic could lose the very essence that makes it Celtic: success. On the pitch would mean little if it comes at the cost of identity off it. The broader footballing community is watching this saga closely. UEFA and the SPFL are expected to weigh in soon, especially given growing concerns over the concentration of media ownership and the integrity of the game. If Amazon were to own both the platform broadcasting games and one of the major participants, questions around fairness, bias, and transparency would naturally arise. Could Amazon shape fixtures, influence coverage, or dictate narratives? It's uncharted territory, and football's governing bodies will be under pressure to establish guardrails. Meanwhile, fans and pundits alike are debating what this means for the future of the sport. Is this the beginning of a new era where clubs are no longer community institutions but content engines for tech giants? Or could this be the start of a hybrid model where tradition and innovation find common ground? As we await official confirmation and further details, one thing is clear. This is not just a business transaction. This is a cultural flashpoint. Amazon's bid to buy Celtic marks the intersection of two worlds: the grassroots passion of Scottish football and the global ambition of a trillion-dollar tech titan. Whether this becomes a fairy tale or a cautionary tale will depend on what comes next. Fans, board members, and executives alike are holding their breath. In the coming weeks, Celtic will not only be playing for titles, but for its very soul. And if history tells us anything about this great club, it's that its future will be shaped not just in boardrooms, but in the voices of the people who sing in the stands every week. The battle for Celtic has begun, and a whole world is watching. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.